Drumheads, we're back.
Right, good evening, Drumheads. It's going to be hopefully a short shrift show tonight because I've got to be at my bed early tomorrow morning for another trip to Northern Ireland across the water.
Very exciting.
So
And you can probably see from
uh,
my eyes, I've literally just got out of my bed as well.
yeah, I know. Yeah, it's one of the ones, isn't it? But before we start the show tonight, um, this is St Andrew's night for us here in Scotland, obviously.
Yeah.
But before we get into it, I just like to pass on a bit of information. Obviously, I'm not a Facebook aficionado, and I'm not really into using social media. But obviously, you might have been aware that obviously I've been a lot that quiet on social media for the past maybe month and a half, and that's because my sister passed away, and obviously the funeral took place last Monday. So I'd like to thank everybody that was involved in supporting my sister. I'd like to thank the hospice where she spent the last uh, while of her life with dignity with the St Andrew's Hospice in Airdrie. So they're fantastic people, done a fantastic job, and my family's forever in their debt. And also, I'd like to pass my greatest respect out to our partner, who's there to the end, a guy called Alistair Murray, who's also a fantastic drummer, so it makes him a doubly good guy. So, yeah, she will be missed,
Yep.
and I hope she rests easy. So, Isabel, just a quick on the best way up. And that's us, and that's the reason for the black symbol in the old Facebook. That was as kind of imaginative as I could get. Right,
Yep.
moving on.
You've also been on the road, still getting some
Well,
drumhead stuff going
I was
during
meant to
that,
be.
haven't you?
I was meant to be on the road, right? So here's the big thing, right? I was meant to get the red eye flight to the Livingston Invitational.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was working in Belfast, and the flight was at 7 o'clock in the morning, right?
Yeah.
I never made the flight. That's it.
Which is totally
That's
fair.
that's a big story. I did want to meet because the Livy Invitational is a fantastic event, and last year we were saying, I need to go. Work get in the way because ideally, and also the other things that were going on in my life kind of put a dampener on actually going and doing things like this.
Yeah.
So
And
I'm
I
kind of
couldn't just catch I just couldn't. Yeah, there was a.
yeah, and I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I thought it's not that important in the grand scheme of things. However, what I would say is I've been kind of messaging Jim Baxter, who is one of the organisers of the event, and it was for disadvantaged children that had obviously kind of some sort of learning difficulties. It's a thing close to my own heart.
Yeah.
My oldest son, he's got learning difficulties,
Yeah.
and he's a fantastic guy. And without getting too much into the kind of what we think about things, the bottom line is great people do great work, and you need great support. And the Live Invitational, I can't think of a better thing
Yeah.
where drummers go, do a bit of freestyling. Kerr McQuillan, a fan of the show. A great fan of the show. He done well. He gave up the done an MSR.
Yeah.
And a big shout out to if you watch the YouTube of the Livingston Invitational, you'll see Pot Secret Drum Corps, and that's Les Gilbreth doing a homage to Top Secret Drum Corps,
Oh.
but employing the art of using pots and pans. So
No way.
you know what I mean? What a fantastic thing.
Yeah.
And you need that sort of colour. That's a great thing. It's a great event. I spoke to Jim Baxter. I've asked him to come on the show and talk to us. He couldn't make this weekend that we're doing. So hopefully sometime soon we can maybe get a wee chat to him. I know Paul Brown was involved as well. He's got his hand in that. And it obviously needs support, and it needs people that are obviously in the up, big faces, Craig Laurie, Kerr McQuillan, MD that's obviously of the zeitgeist at the moment to actually kind of participate. Les and his core Glasgow Sky, obviously being able to kind of pitch up and do something. It all makes for a great pageantry, a great colour.
And it's all for a good cause.
And it's all for a great cause. And it's been on for a good while.
Yeah, nice.
The bizarre thing is, right? Maybe it shows it reflects the fact that I'm not really that much in the know. But I think it was only like maybe about 7 years ago, 6 years ago, that I first heard about it.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this? And then
Well, you messaged me
some
about it, and that's the first time I've ever heard of it.
aye,
So,
well,
and
somebody told me about it once and went, and I was like, what is that? And they went, it's in a wee bowling club in
it
Liverpool.
sounds mad prestigious, you know? When something is
Listen,
invitational, you're like, well, how do I get in there?
it's definitely up there, man. It's definitely got to be. And the worst thing is, he's never got to go for it. It doesn't matter the excuses, but
Yeah.
I never got to see it again. But fingers crossed, next year we'll be able to kind of do something for it.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
So that's the Livy Invitational, a discussion of something of which I never went to, nor never seen. However, all the drummers out there have already watched it on YouTube, and they're probably like, oh, I know what you're talking about. Oh,
Yeah.
But I think it's fantastic. It was a great effort. Les Gilbraith for that. He done one before that I seen. It was fantastic. They done all the kind of pots. They done like kind of the core was beating out a rhythmic section.
Yeah.
Making a wee kind of hoof shaped kind of things. It was great.
Hey, it's not a competition, right? It's not like Kerm will go
well,
on.
no, like Kerr won the MSR in it. And then, the great thing was,
does that go on his pro record, or is that like off the books?
Craig Laurie done. Craig Laurie done a homage to Kerr McQuillan. He had like kind of fake kind of wig, you know. How Kerr's got a bit of a Buffon thing going on there, right?
Yeah.
And he mimicked the kind of movement. You remember we spoke to Kerr,
yeah.
And we're all like that. Aye, but we're all like that. You know what I mean? Come on, right? So he's got that kind of stage presence.
Yeah.
He told himself, he was like, listen, that's
real.
That's for real. That's for a firing for effect. Makes sense, right? So that was, and again, that's on YouTube.
That's cool.
Maybe we should stick some YouTube links down or something like that.
That's good crack.
See if we were really good with tech, we could maybe actually just sequent bits in.
Yeah, we could, but we're not resourced. We're not resourced for that kind of thing.
We could, but you've already seen it. It's a wee cold. It's like it's instant info, and so it's like if it's not happened 30 seconds ago, nobody's interested.
These are campfire stories, you know.
Anyway,
no props.
Moving on. The big
What's been happening in the pipe band world?
Well, this is this is a tricky one, right? This is a tricky one.
Some tall stories, I hear.
Well, remember we discussed the pipes and drums, done an article about information, about, using the media.
Yeah.
About how best to use the media, reflecting things in your band, blah, 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 blah.
We were talking about that Princess Kate, she disappeared and the media void started to get filled. People were guessing and
100%.
Taking shots.
What's happening? And then obviously the rumour monger mill works, and then people say, I definitely heard this, exactly the same.
Yep.
And so they came up with this thing, the best thing is just to shoot it off, right? Now, what we're obviously referencing is the fact the Field Marshal's now appointed your man Glenn Holmes to be the lead tip. And obviously Gareth McLeod is not going to be the lead drummer anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So right away, there's talk in the steamy and the wash house. Everybody's saying, I've heard this, I've heard that. So a lot of people are putting in this kind of tuppence worth saying, I heard it's to do with this kind of action or this activity. None of it good, by the way, all it kind of negative. And so it got me thinking, right? I'm on a veterans website, right? And on this veterans website, there's a lassie, a woman, who had served 15 years in the army, 12, 15 years, whatever, double numbers.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Anyway, so she'd been to like kind of Afghan, she's done a bit of work, you know what I mean? She's proved her worth, and she recited her resume of what she'd achieved, right? And then she says to this cohort of guys that are kind of ex-veteran guys that have been in the army, etc. Now, the website's there to kind of pass information and get a bit of banter, so it's very much tongue-in-cheek, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a community forum. It's like
it's kind of, you know what I mean, stand up and be counted, take a slap, but it's just, it is what it is.
It's all in, good Good
so
taste.
she says, listen, this is who I am and this is my background. She says, but I currently work as an escort, which is a kind of nice way of saying you might do things for money. I don't know. Don't know how far you go.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's a question. What's the difference between an escort and a prostitute?
Well, we'd have to get them on and ask.
do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, she's an escort. Does that mean like she just walks about the party with the guy in her arm?
Yeah,
Thanks,
it could
Steve.
be. It could be more.
Have a lovely night.
Yeah.
Or am I being?
Without having to also...
Am I being Faustine and thinking, no, it gets a bit further than the deeper. Anyway, the point is she says,
classy.
It sounds nicer, doesn't it? I'm not a hooker. I'm an escort. Anyway, so she says
that is some job swap.
Well, dealing with people, awkward situations. I mean, anyways, so maybe not that. Anyway, so not that different. Anyway, so she came out with this and she says, listen, I'm letting you all know the now because there's going to be a media story coming out about me, personally, about me doing this, and this is what I do now. And she thought, you may as well hear it for the horse's mouth type thing.
That is right, honourable.
Well, this is the thing, right? Obviously, army guys being army guys were like that. How much do you charge?
Yeah.
Do you give forces discount and that sort of thing, right? So right away, she on the money, man. Her partner was good. She was like, no for you. Not enough discount for you. Trust me, it's not going to work. But the bottom line of the story is she ripped off the bandage. You know, the Alastair plus, she ripped it off, and she's like, listen, this is what's getting said. This is what it is. This is who I am. And the majority of people were like that. Look, I don't necessarily would maybe advocate it for my daughter.
No.
Right? I wouldn't be like, good on yous. Well done. Good choice. But at the same point,
each their own.
Who am I to judge her?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, for whatever reason, that's what she's doing, right? And it's maybe not my bag, but I'm just saying, I'm not condoning. I'm not condemning. I'm not saying, well, by the way, you know, you this, that, next thing. She's done her time for the army. She's done what she's done.
There's still time for you to do it if you change your mind, Andrew, as well.
Well, thanks very much, Jason. And she brought in other pertinent issues. She says, well, obviously, she was suffering with mental health issues, and that was kind of obviously colouring the way that she could get employment, etc., etc. So, you know what I mean? There's a whole raft of things that's going on there, right? And my point is if what I'm hearing about Gareth McAleese has got like a drop of truth in it, right? I'd be like that. Listen, I don't care, right? I know if there's somebody else involved and it's like kind of, you know, seesaw action, they done this, he done that, they done this, he done that. I get that, right? But at the same point, you know, you're only guilty once you've been convicted as being guilty. And secondly, I'm like, oh, he's got a lovely pair of hands, though. And the guy's still got a great pair of hands. I mean,
we're here for the horns.
So Gareth, if you're watching the show, right, get in touch, and you can have the drum score,
safe space,
and you could be the lead drummer. We're willing to be your rottendrummers.com. But you'll end up with a great chord, by the way.
The drum score pipe band is just like going to be like pirates and renegades and like
it'll be all the useless low
rebels
that you could probably find. You'd be like, see, they guys get them furthest away from my tent. But what I would say is listen, it'll all pass. This will all come out and it'll all be shock and awe, and then eventually it'll be like newspaper wrappings, and it'll be like, wow, that's it done. So
the drama lasts about 15 minutes, but the great horns, that's for a lifetime.
The weird thing is this shows you how much I'm at the loop, right? I messaged Gareth because I spoke to him at the solos, right? And I says to the guy, this is at the solos. I said, listen, would you be interested in coming on? And he went, aye. I was like, right, nice one. I says, listen, I'll try and factor you in closer to Christmas, right? And so closer to Christmas as it is, I was like that a couple of weeks ago. I was like, Gareth,
how about this weekend?
Aye, we're still mad for you. Any chances you could come on the show?
Yeah.
And it's obviously just, silence.
Yeah.
And then after that, somebody's like, here, you'll not believe this. And I'm like, well, hit me. So they then imparted their gem of a story. But I'm like that to myself, this is genuine, right? If he wants to come on, he wants to tell us his thing and
tell us the story. Tell us.
But the thing is, listen, this guy's married. He's a family guy. And obviously this has got an impact in his life as well. I'm not condemning nor condoning him, right? I'm just saying we need to find out what's going on. Obviously, the fact that he's went kind of quiet and people have decided to fill the void, fair enough. But
sometimes you take a hit, you need to decompress maybe a little bit, and then come out.
Some of the drumheads have been messaging me, right? And I remember this for days of yore, right? This is true, right? For days of yore, there would be something happen at the work, right? See, when I was living in Germany and in the army in Germany. So you can imagine, right, that something would happen, some incident would happen. And see, by the next morning, it would involve dead horses, ladies of the night, some 3 policemen, one being fatally wounded. And the storyline would be so massive, right? That you're like, that I was there, that never happened.
I don't remember this.
What happened was somebody got a punch in the face, right? Somebody got punched in the face once, right? Next thing you know, it was like, the next thing you know, it was like the bar get cleared out, the cavalry, there was actually the police mounted horses come in and folk took a sabre and that never happened. So I'm not saying what he did wasn't a big thing. I'm just saying we don't know. And eventually it'll come out. When it comes out and it's all done and dusted, it'll settle. But Gareth, if you want to come on and talk about it,
we'll be back to listen to you.
Yeah. But we will ask you questions about it, Gareth. We will ask you questions.
And
you need to take it. You need to get the bandage ripped right off. You're hanging about. You know what I mean? It's like just like somebody. You know that somebody's going to punch you in the face. You're like, right, punch me.
Yeah, and you'd be like, that felt
that's
good.
That's even worse. You're ready for it.
Like,
I'm ready for it. Ready for it. So if anyone wants to add anything, feel free to message us and tell me what you think.
And all the drumheads, we're a supportive group,
Listen, they're a bunch of sweetie wives, a lot of them, aren't they? You can hardly wait. You can hardly wait to write a story. Oh, I heard this about them. Oh. So, we all get it. But such is life. Right, moving on.
What you got?
Swiftly, right? Moving on for that. You've obviously been following that. I've started to pick back up on social media, right?
Oh yes, the old chips.
So you seen what I posted?
Any of the drum heads in the chips group will know that Andrew's got a brand new addition to his life.
No, Jason. No. Andrew's not, right. Here we go. I know I've always wanted a van, right? So every show I mention her, by the way, right? It's actually starting to bother me now that the amount of times that I mentioned more than half, right? So Heather knows, right, that I've always wanted a van, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe it's the gypsy in me or something. I always wanted kind of a bit of a van or something. Anyway, the bottom line is that I've always wanted a van, right?
Kind of got to have enough kids to warrant having a van,
Well, the problem is kids, right? Kids take money off you, right? So you actually have less and less to spend on yourself. And as everybody knows, I've got a massive clan. I've got like 4 veins, right?
Yeah.
So it's like whatever you've got, right? So I always say this to see when folk go, I'm thinking of having kids. You go like, right, how much is a Big Mac? And they're like that. Oh, I'd say it's about £7, the Big Mac meal. They're like, right. So I've got 4 kids. Times that before, right? So you're like that. So a Big Mac now becomes about 30 odd quid just for one Big Mac. You, your wife, and the 4 kids. 40 quid for a Big Mac. So what you think's cheap the new is mega expensive once you get wins. So back to the van story.
Yeah.
So we go to the van. Jason, I never got it for myself.
Oh.
I'm not that selfish.
Really?
Because, no, listen. Yeah. Hear me out, right? there
What
was
a guy. What
about
a guy you are.
two things about it. I know. I'm all
You are
giving,
just
right?
aren't you the
Listen, so this is the thing, right? Here's the deal, right? Um, one, my sister passing, she was only 47, right? One of the things I know she'd have been into the fact that I got the van, right? Should have liked that. I know that for a fact.
you
I
are,
know that some people say, right, when somebody passes, right, it's
yeah.
like the carte blanche. They say, oh, they were always wanted me to spend money on gambling,
Yeah.
bad women, and leaving my wife, right? They'd have always wanted me to do that, right?
They wanted
Do
me
you
to
know what
do
I mean?
this.
Yeah, exactly. They would have loved that if I'd have done this, right? But this is a genuine one, right? I know, God bless her, right? My sister would have loved me to get a van. She would have loved the fact that I got a van, right? So when she passed away, and eventually, bizarrely, this is the bizarre thing, right? Whether you believe in this kind of stuff or not, right?
Ooh.
So a day after her birthday, right? A day
Yes.
after her birthday, somebody messaged me and went, "Are you still interested in a van?" Right? And
Oh.
I know, right? People are like, this is just clickbait rubbish, right? But that's genuinely what happened, right? And the next, he says, "Are you still interested in a van?" He says, "Because I know a guy at selling one." And I just went, "Aye, let's do it." So that was one. That was one of the weird things. Genuine. I was
If
like,
you said no to that, that would have been like
I
maybe
know
like
it'd be
10 years
like,
bad luck or some shit. They
I
would be
know,
like fucking
100%,
cursed.
100%, right?
Yeah.
So that was one, right? And then the other one was I thought, and this is what you got to love this one. I thought I'm going to insulate the van, right?
Yeah. Hold on.
Listen, I'm going to insulate the inside, right? And I'm going to I'm going to get it insulated. It'll still be cube form. It'll still be able to move stuff, but it's going to be kind of insulated, showing I can still kind of sleep in it with comfort. But more importantly, I thought we could conduct interviews in it on the hoof,
Oh,
on the move.
wow.
So it could be like a mobile wee interview thing,
A drum score studio.
100% on wheels,
Yeah.
right? And then Buffs, my youngest daughter, right,
Uh-huh.
was like
Uh-huh.
that sounds shady. And I,
Yeah, that actually, it's like
but see, at first I'm thinking good things.
yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking sound of
What
music,
what you
birds
think on
twittering,
paper,
all that.
like
And
you're
then,
like, we'll just go up to
she's
people
like,
and
wait
ask
a
them to
minute,
come into our van.
she's turned it into a Peter Sutcliffe type Fred West scenario. Come into my van with a wee trail of sweeties. What the hell? Talk about ruining something. Hey,
You
how
can't
can
have
that
anything
be,
nice, eh? You
people?
can't
How
just
can
do
that
anything.
be? That's garbage, isn't it? That's garbage. And you know, the worst thing is, there's no windows in the van, at the back of the van.
Yes, just gonna be like, you know what? I don't.
I swear I'll put a windows in it. I will put windows in it at the back, right? I'll do that. I've got a plan for the van,
There's
right?
there's two guys standing next to that van, all in black, like beanies and balaclavas.
So, right, so here's the thing, right? Just roll with this a bit, right? So I thought, wouldn't it be great, right? You're there for Piping Live Week. We've got the van singing, right,
Yeah.
the way it's meant to be.
Uh-huh.
And then we're like, active folk, fridge in the van, soft seating, chin bad. Let's talk about it.
That
Have a
sounds
wee
right.
gab about it. Let's
Well, maybe door
I'll
open.
tell you
We'll
what.
do it door open.
Will we get? Do you want a door open or do you want a door closed?
That's exciting.
No, listen, I'm
exciting.
sorry. I just think it's good. So anyway, the drumhead. So
Give me a nice project. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Could maybe have some meat cleavers hanging up, meat hooks.
So we've put something out to the drumheads, right?
Aye, so
to kick the project off.
What do you think it should be called? Right?
What did I say? I said the beat bus.
You said the beat bus, and somebody else said the beat bus.
No way.
Listen, I'll tell you another thing.
By numbers.
Listen.
That's in the lead.
Listen, there's been a few things. There've been a few things about this, right? That's been quite interesting, right?
So as well.
Here's a weird one, right? Simon Gavin, right? Fan of the show. Shout out to him, right? He's the guy that's involved in the Pipe Band Museum.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So we already said this. We're loving this idea, Si, right? We're liking the idea.
Yep.
I had to give him 2 yellow cards on the naming thing. 2 yellow cards, right?
It's
Because he brought out mad pipery stuff. This isn't
oh,
the big, this isn't the big rap show. We don't do that here,
you know
right?
we can't. Yeah,
Nah, we just don't do that, mate. That's garbage, mate. So he's like that. He said something right. So let's go doing it because he's like, and he also had this other reason. I had to check one to him. He's got some good ideas. I'll shout them in a minute, right? He's some good ideas, but he kept on just naming drummers and putting in kind of augmenting Van to it, right? So he brought out things like Robert Van Drew. That was Robert Andrew, who we know is a drummer, right? Robert Andrew. So he got Robert Van Drew, and I was like, no.
yeah,
Um,
bit niche.
yeah, a bit niche. And then he done Craig Laurie. So he done it Craig Laurie, as in it's a wee
Craig.
Laurie. But
Oh
Craig Laurie. No,
no,
no. I was like,
yeah, it's
you
not.
can't keep doing this. This is the one that started. March to Spain Wheels. That's all right. The drum corps play a March to Spain Wheel, right? Sticker for the back window. Loud pipes save lives. Loud pipes save lives. No, loud pipes can be annoying.
And they shorten lives.
They shorten lives.
I'm pretty sure it's proven.
With their egotistical madness, right? So no, Si, that's not happening. Reels on wheels.
That's more on the social, like that's on the Reels on Wheels. I really do like that.
Do you like reels on
Do you like
wheels?
that? But maybe that's
no,
maybe
because
that's
it's getting them. It's getting them something. See, it needs to be percussional, right?
yeah.
Because reels on wheels, it could be, well, maybe there's a wee piper guy in the front seat. No, there's not a piper guy in the front seat. It's definitely a drummer guy in the front seat, right?
Reels on Wheels is like what
wheels,
is what
it's
happens. Good. It's what happens on the bus, but it's not maybe the bus's name. Let's keep going. Onwards.
Right. Kerr McQuilvan. And I'm like, no. He's got, in fact, I said this about Craig Laurie as well. So Kerr McQuillan and Craig Laurie, right? Right. Well, I've got the green envy at Craig Laurie, who's one of these guys. He's a performer, drums and roses. He's got his pipes. He's got his drums. Kerr McQuillan, piper and a drummer, a very good drummer. No, they don't need any more stuff. So yeah. I love the guys, what they do. I love your art, love your stuff, but you're not getting your name on the side of the van.
Yeah, right? we can't. That's like getting a football player's name on the back of your jersey.
It's no on. It's no on. Ronnie Toll sent me this one. Snare Force 1.
Wow.
By the way,
good.
That's
really good.
Very good. It's very good, mate.
He must really
like.
He must have been
really
up
like
all
that.
night, like in the drawing room, like scheming.
Listen, I need to check this on Facebook, right? Because he sent another one.
Did he AI that? He better not have chat GBT'd that.
He didn't chat I know he didn't chat GBT. I think he's better than that because he's actually quite a good wordsmith.
Yeah.
Right? Talking about wordsmiths, the guy William Powler, he wrote a wordy thing on Facebook about the Live Invitational. I meant to mention that earlier, but that guy's got Patter. That's the guy that done the odds. Remember who's going to take over?
Yes, the Paddy Power. The Paddy Power on the chips. If you're not on chips, you got to join it, and there's good stuff going on there.
He done that. But so here's the thing.
Before you move on, I had another.
I'm not going to move on.
We got John Quinn, solar engineer on Instagram. He said Van Halen.
Oh, I've heard. Yeah, somebody else done Van Halen. Yeah,
Van Halen, it's an obvious choice. We got Greg Doc, one hit with the drum skin. Sounds a bit.
A guy wrote. Listen, you know how it's
visual.
Drum Hall. A guy wrote this, right? It's Drum Haller, and a guy wrote Brunhilde.
Yeah, oi.
Wagnerian, do you get it? Right? So you've got Drum Haller, and that would be Brunhilde. No, that was clever as well. But I thought clever, but not clever and not maybe too clever.
I actually named my own car Broomhilda.
Oh, right, so I don't know. It's maybe too Wagnerian.
On this Norse sort of train.
Yeah.
Malcolm Mack, 4858. He has hit a good one, and I like it.
Right, go.
Van Haller.
Do you know what? That's obviously good.
It's
Valhalla.
Valhalla. It's all
I've just left for Valhalla. I've just left Drumhalla to jump into
the
Valhalla. Do you know what?
Valhalla.
That's a good one. Do you know
I
what we
think
need
it's
to do?
going between Snare Force One here and
Snare Force
Valhalla.
One and Valhalla.
Oh,
Listen, wait a minute. Alex Folds, right, came up with a couple of good. By the way, just a quick one. Alex Folds, I'd like to thank you for stealing my on loan drum pad and stand, which I'd borrowed from the Highlanders, right? But listen to this story kind of meanders a wee bit. So I'd signed on loan a drum stand and pad, right? Jim Kilpatrick, man.
yeah.
However, they had an audit coming up and they said they needed it. So he came and took it back. But I'd had it for about 3 years and I felt like it was mine now.
So it's not yours.
No, but I begrudgingly gave it back. I was like, I have it. But
You're like,
anyway,
you're like, you
so
stole that from me.
now I've got actually the rage that I've not got it, but really it is theirs. It does belong to them.
That's contentious. That's contentious.
So exactly. I put the bandage, rough off the bandage. I'll give them it back. Right. Anyway, so he came up with a classics. He came up with things like the Practice Palace and all the Percussion Palace. But the other good one is he came up with the Rhythm Ruler. And Kerr McQuillan came out with rhythm rolls or something like that. He came out with something similar.
Yeah.
And there's been quite a few similar rhythm. A lot of folk went through rhythm, but I think we should pick top three. And can we not do a thing where you put them out as we do a poll? Can we do a poll one?
I think we can try and sort that out.
Right, so let's discuss.
It's the people's van, so let's give them the choice. Listen, ultimately,
here we go for right. I'm thinking already. Snare Force One. Somebody, by the way, said, "Listen to this one. This is another simple one. Krupa."
Yeah, as in Gene Krupa.
As in Gene Krupa. Just call it Krupa, and I was like, you know what I mean? Again, by the way, this guy's not even a drummer. They said that. He's a guy, I know, he's a guy working away, he's working in the Middle East, and he's like, Krupa. I was like, that's dynamite.
Genuinely good name.
It is a genuinely good name.
But it has to be, you have to imagine it's going to be painted on this van, you know?
The other one was Snairty, as in Lairty, but Snairty, right?
That's just a way to describe you. Like
I thought that's too egotistical.
Yeah.
I thought I can't do that. It's off of the show, guys. It's off of the show. So can we go with Valhalla?
Valhalla is so good. Yeah.
Snare Force One.
Yeah.
What are we having for our third option?
Well, the beat bus had two, but also rhythm rolls. What was it? Had two. So
wait a minute, I want to check. It was rhythm.
We'll formalize it. We'll formalize it.
Formalize it. But I think the three's either Valhalla, Snare Force One. I do love the Snare Force One.
Oh, it's gonna look good painted on it, I reckon. Get like the full.
Well, listen,
font.
It's good, isn't it? Right, listen. They'll decide. We're going to do the three. We'll get the top three that we think, and we get to choose the top three, don't we, Jason?
Yeah, of course. We're choosing the shortlist.
It's democracy, but no real democracy.
No. Constitutional.
Yeah, we can't really trust you that much. So Snare Force One, Valhalla, and one of the rhythm rolls or rhythm.
Yeah, something else.
Rhythm Ride. Ride was one. Rhythm rolls. We'll discuss it. Yep. We're going to put three up.
If you want to have your say, jump on chips.
Jump on the chips and bore us to death. It better be good patter. William Powler. I tell you what, that guy's got good patter. I want to meet him. I want to meet this guy. Right, anyway. And that's pretty much us. We've done the van. Quick one when we're talking about the van. Another guy mentioned something. Malcolm McDonald.
Yes. This guy.
Let's have a chat about this guy. Malcolm McDonald.
Malcolm McDonald, look, I've been over to Scotland. I met a few of the personalities, but I never met Malcolm.
No, but listen.
But he's always sending me mad stuff, mad funny stuff. He's giving me intel.
Oh, just a quick one. He's a bit of a rugby fan like me. And
Yeah.
by the way, I see your team get scalped again. Listen, scalped off one of the greatest rugby teams in the world, Scotland, obviously. Tore these apart. He's get laughed at
just
again.
Give it a rest, yeah.
So you can beat the English. Listen, because I was getting told, oh, we're going to come in, we're going to destroy them and all. Third tier team. Still third tier team.
No.
There's still wee guys in development countries getting free Australia rugby stuff because it's no selling. It's no selling, mate. Can't be selling.
I have to say that new kit you guys have got. It's spurring you on a bit. It's looking good.
But, right. Anyway, so Malcolm McDonald, rugby fan, right?
Yep.
But here's the thing. So he's wanting a T-shirt off us. He says, "Where's my T-shirt?" Right?
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well," he says, "because this is what he's saying, right?" He says, "Because I sealed the deal between you guys and Kerr coming on the show." And I'm like, right, wait a minute. How does this work out, right?
You're going to have to take it up.
Yeah, but listen, how does that work out? That sounds like stolen valor, right? So if we remember, well, wait a minute. Wait. Because if we remember, right, you know, I think in America, it's stolen valor, all that kind of rubbish, right?
Yeah.
So listen, so here's the thing, right? She's like, I helped you with that. He did help us with it, right? Because I says to him, she's like, what's she like? And I was trying to get feedback, but I also asked Ali Park, I says, what's she like? I says, I want to know what the guy's character's like before we interview him, right? So that's what we do. We've got to fish about and try and kind of work out what the character's like.
Yep.
If you don't know them. Anyway, so the bottom line is we asked Kerr a year ago when he first took the Worlds, right? When I was here stoning, when he was waiting to go on kind of thing, and I was like, I think you've got it today. She's do you? She's aye. And then I was like, you want to come on my show? Like a weirdo. And he was like that. Aye, all right. But he maybe just said that at the time because he thought...
Yeah, just to get away from me, yeah.
He's just, who is this guy? But I think he genuinely meant it. I was like, I said, and he's like, I'll come on. Right? And he said, aye. And then intermittently, over the year, I'd seen him at various contests, and he never said no. I said, look, I'll get you on. I said, but not the new. So it was maybe a date thing, as in trying to cement the right time for him, the right time for me, blah, blah, blah. So
it could have been Malcolm Mackie D who was like tapping on the shoulder, like, they are all right. Like,
well, we see. Well, he's going to say that, right? So that's
we need you kind of people out there too. You know?
So I was going to say, to be fair to Malcolm, he was obviously that. Maybe Kerr was like, "Do you know this guy? Is he a rocket?" And Malcolm's probably been like, "He is a rocket, but not a bad rocket." So let's just say it's a stalemate on this one.
Yeah.
Do we send him a T-shirt?
Hey, look, if we didn't send him a T-shirt, he could go the legal route and go on to our new merch store.
Oh, and what is that, pray tell?
Well,
what a segue that was! Malcolm McDonald punch the kit out.
Shameless plug here, right? We've now actually got our merch on a proper store. Not all of it; it's slowly getting up there, so you can go and check it out and see what you want.
That's Jason's fault. By the way, listen, here's another thing.
I'm cutting that out. I'm cutting that out.
You're cutting this out, right? This is seamless, right? Here's the thing, right? We've got time. Here's the thing, right? The thing is this. Jason, right, was like that. Listen, what's the story with the merch? I says, right, that T-shirt, this, and we've got the beanie hat. And obviously we're like, right, we need to get some sort of... I says, we need to get a model, right, to kind of model the kit. I says, listen, you're at the university. I says, there must be... good-looking women hanging about the university. She's get them to model the kit. I says, everybody likes somebody. You need or a good-looking guy, right? Whatever. But somebody that's kind of model-esque. Somebody you think, that's a good-looking guy or girl, right? Get them.
Yeah.
And I was like to Jason, I says, now remember, the golden rule is, right, not to be creepy. You need to say, I think you're actually quite a fine-looking young woman. Would you consider?
Handsome lass.
You can't say something like, I think you're really good looking. Could you model for me?
Especially with that bloody van now as well.
I was going to say, and by the way, we can do an interview in the van. Would you like to get an interview in the van before you model for us?
for my drumming show.
It's fraught with danger. Anyway, the bottom line is, was it Sum Up?
It's on
T-shirt.
Sum Up.
Sum Up
So
T-shirt, the beanie.
you'll see the link underneath us here, right? But
Right,
that's but thanks to the Kilted Huntsman, right?
the Kilted Huntsman's been helping us out massively.
He helped us out, and he sells all like
flashes and all that kind of stuff,
flashes, custom stuff. So
yep,
check his out if you're interested.
Actually, bizarrely, this is another good thing. People have been quite helpful.
So helpful
about things. So helpful about things.
It's really a community, like because
you love this word community, didn't you? It's just a community. It's a community. Listen, I would never want to share a bus with people. That's why I've got a three. Listen, that's why I've got a 3-seater van, not a 10-seater. 3-seater. I don't want a community with me.
So don't be asking ladies lifts, yeah.
Don't be asking. Might move a fridge freezer for you though, at price.
That's some words.
Right, so the Kilted Huntsman was really helpful because I was asking him, really. I mean, it's one of these things, right? See if you've not done something before.
Mm.
You need somebody to kind of go, you would do this, you would do that, you do the next thing. So, so he's been helpful. So, Kilted Huntsman, we salute you. All right. Is there anything else we need to mention before we can wrap this up? Listen, there's so many folks, and by the way, get well soon, Wally Laird.
Oh.
Another fan of the show. I know he's no well. I don't want this to turn into like hospital radio and all that kind of stuff. But, back in Ward 7, we've got William Laird. I hope he's getting better. Back to listening to Jerry Rafferty. Night Owls. That's Baker Street, you halfwit.
I know.
Oh, by the way, just a quick shout out because this will come out by the time I think probably I'm going to go and see The Damned, and I can't wait. I was lucky enough. Somebody phoned up and told me that there's tickets at the Barras, which is the Barrowlands, and it's possibly the best venue to see a band. Personally, it's one of the best venues to go. Right, so I'm going to go and see them. So I can hardly wait to see them. And I'll maybe give you a wee bit of spiel about that. Apart from that, it's a cold month. Everybody's up there practicing, trying to learn their new stuff, trying to get it off. Get on with it. And we'll see you on the flip side.
Let's do it. All right. Catch us, drumheads.
Catches.
Cheers for tuning in.